Hello, this is Professor Asma Parveen from Department of Psychology, and today I will talk about sampling error and sampling bias in research. Error in research refers to the various mistakes that can occur throughout the survey process, which can affect the accuracy and validity of the final results. These errors can be categorized into two dimensions: statistical error and measurement non sampling or systematic error. Measurement error happens when the tool used to measure something is not reliable or consistent. This means that the measurements taken may not accurately reflect the true values of what is being measured. On the other hand, statistical error occurs when the sample used in a study does not accurately represent the entire population. This type of error is related to making estimates about the whole population based on a smaller sample. Measurement error occurs for various reasons. For example, if a measuring instrument is not calibrated correctly, it may consistently give inaccurate readings. Additionally, human error can also contribute to measurement error. If the person using the measuring tool is not properly trained or attentive, they may make mistakes that affect the accuracy of the measurements. It is important to minimize measurement error as much as possible in order to obtain reliable and valid results. So, it is important to acknowledge that the information we gather may not always be completely accurate. Errors can occur, and to address this, we utilize a concept known as the true score. The true score represents the actual score obtained while taking into account any potential errors. To calculate the true score, we add or subtract the total error from the obtained score. That is, true score is equal to obtained score plus minus error. By accounting for these potential errors, we aim to provide a more comprehensive and reliable understanding of data collected. So, the first category of error is statistical error. Statistical error arises when the sample being studied is not a good representation of the entire population. So, the first error is statistical error. This error arises when the sample being studied is not a good representation of the entire population, so it is related to the representativeness of the sample used in a study. When conducting research, it is often not feasible or practical to collect data from an entire population. Instead, researchers select a smaller group known as a sample to study. However, if the sample is not representative of the larger population, the findings of the study may not be applicable to the entire population. This can lead to misleading conclusions and inaccurate generalizations. To reduce statistical error, researchers must carefully select their sample to ensure it is representative of the population they are studying. This involves considering factors such as demographics, geographic location, and other relevant characteristics. Additionally, researchers can use statistical techniques to account for any potential biases or limitations in their sample. A statistical error further subdivided into two types: sampling error and standard error. First one is sampling error. When conducting a sample survey, it is important to recognize that the information collected may not be completely accurate. This is because sample surveys only study a small portion of the population, resulting in some degree of inaccuracy known as sampling error or error variance. In simpler words, sampling errors are random variations that occur due to the way the sample is chosen. Sampling error is a common issue in research, occurring when statistical characteristics of an entire population are estimated based on a smaller group or sample from that population. Since the sample does not include every member of the population, the statistics of the sample, such as means and quartiles, often differ from those of the entire population. This discrepancy between the sample statistic and the population parameter is referred to as the sampling error. For instance, if the height of 1000 people is measured from a population of 1 million, the average height of those 1000 individuals will not be the same as the average height of all 1 million people in the country. Understanding sampling error is crucial because it highlights the limitations of sample surveys. It reminds us that the findings obtained from a sample may not accurately represent the entire population. Sampling error is a term used to describe the difference between the average of a population and the average of a sample. This occurs when we only study a portion of the population instead of the entire group. To calculate sampling error, we subtract the sample mean from the population mean. That is, sampling error is equal to population mean minus sample mean. If there is significant difference between these two means, it indicates that the sample does not accurately represent the entire population. Conversely, if the difference is small, it suggests that the sample is a good representative of the population. One factor that can contribute to sampling error is non random selection of the sample. When the sample is not randomly chosen, it fails to truly represent the population, leading to an increased likelihood of sampling error. To minimize this error, randomization can be employed during the sample selection process. By using randomization, each member of the population has an equal chance of being included in the sample, increasing the likelihood of obtaining a representative sample. Another way to reduce sampling error is by increasing the size of the sample. A larger sample size provides a more accurate representation of the population as it includes a greater number of individuals. With a larger sample, the impact of any individual differences or outliers is minimized, resulting in a more reliable estimate of the population mean. A good sample design is crucial for obtaining accurate results in a study. It must meet certain criteria to ensure its effectiveness. Firstly, the sample should be chosen in such a way that it truly reflects the characteristics of the larger population being studied. This means that the individuals or the objects selected for the sample should be representative of the entire population in terms of relevant variables. Secondly, the design of the sample should be carefully planned to minimize any potential errors in the data collected. This involves considering factors such as randomization, stratification, and clustering techniques to ensure that the sample is as unbiased as possible. Lastly, practical limitations like budget and time constraints should also be taken into account when designing the sample. These considerations are important to ensure that the data collected is reliable and can be generalized to the larger population. Sampling error is a common mistake that can occur when we take a sample from a larger population. Regardless of the type of sample we use, whether it's convenient, based on judgment, or chosen randomly, there is always a chance for error. This is because the individuals in the larger population are diverse and it is impossible to speak with every single individual. When we rely on convenient or judgment samples, there is not much we can do to prevent the possibility of error. We simply have to acknowledge that it may happen. However, when we utilize probability samples, we have the ability to estimate the likelihood of an error occurring. This allows us to better understand the risk involved in accepting the sample as accurate. Sampling errors are common occurrences in research and they can be classified into two main types, that is, biased and unbiased. Biased sampling errors occur when the sample selected is not representative of the population being studied. This can happen due to various factors such as non random selection, or underrepresentation of certain characteristics. On the other hand, unbiased sampling errors occur randomly and are not influenced by any specific factors. These errors can still affect the accuracy of the results, but they are considered more acceptable as they are not intentionally skewed. So, when conducting a survey, it is crucial to be aware of biased sampling errors. These errors occur when the statistics obtained consistently deviate in one direction and do not cancel each other out. Bias sampling errors can arise from various reasons, such as bias in selecting sample units, collecting data incorrectly, or analyzing the data with bias. One common cause of biased sampling errors is deliberately choosing sample units instead of randomly selecting them. This increases the likelihood of introducing bias into the survey results. Additionally, if it becomes challenging to collect information from some randomly selected units, investigators may replace them with other units from the population. However, this substitution can introduce bias if the replacement units are not chosen randomly. Another source of bias can occur when respondents fail to provide all necessary information, leading the investigator to fill in the missing details. This can result in bias because the investigator's input may not accurately represent the respondent's true answers. Furthermore, respondents themselves may provide biased information if they wish to conceal certain facts from the investigator. Consistent errors in measurement can also contribute to bias. This can happen due to improper data collection instruments or the incompetence of the investigator. Limitations in the collection procedure, coding, and analysis methods can also introduce bias into the survey results. Unbiased sampling errors can occur when we randomly select a sample from a larger group and there are chance differences between the items we chose and the ones we did not choose. These errors are not influenced by any bias or unfairness, meaning they are not a result of flawed or biased data collection. It is important to understand that these errors do not become more significant as we collect more data. In fact, as we gather more information, these errors tend to balance out, compensating for any initial differences in the sample. This balancing effect is why they are also referred to as compensating errors or non cumulative errors. Sampling errors are a type of a statistical error that can occur when a sample is not representative of the entire population. When conducting a survey or study, it is important to select a sample that accurately represents the population we are studying. However, even with random sampling, there will always be some degree of sampling error because a sample is only an approximation of the population. There are several types of sampling errors that can occur. The first type of sampling error is frame error, which happens when a sample is selected from the wrong population data. This means that the sample frame or the group of people from which the sample is chosen does not accurately represent the population of interest. For example, if you are conducting a survey about kids' apparel, but your sample includes adults instead of children, you would have a frame error. The second type of sampling error is chance error, which occurs when participants self select to be part of the study. This means that only those who are interested in the survey or study choose to participate, leading to a biased sample. For example, if you are conducting a survey about a new product and only people who are excited about the product choose to respond, your results may not accurately represent the entire population. The third type of sampling error is response error, which happens when a useful response is not obtained from the surveys because researchers were unable to contact potential respondents or potential respondents refuse to respond. This can lead to missing data or biased results if certain groups of people are more likely to respond than others. So, it is essential to consider these factors when analyzing survey data to ensure accurate and reliable conclusions. The first type of error is frame error. These frame errors occur when the sample chosen for a study does not accurately represent the entire population being studied. This can happen for a variety of reasons, such as using an outdated phone directory as a sample frame. For instance, people often move and change their addresses, so they may no longer be included in the directory. Additionally, some individuals may choose to not list their contact information, and there are also adults who do not own a telephone. Households can have multiple phone numbers listed, which can lead to duplicate inclusions in the sample. These errors can greatly impact the validity of the study's findings, as the sample may not truly reflect the characteristics of the population. Another common cause of this error is when the sample is not randomly selected or chosen without bias. For example, if a study wants to measure the average height of people worldwide but only collects data from one country, the results may be wrong and biased. It is crucial to ensure that the sample is chosen in a way that does not favor certain groups or characteristics. It is important for researchers to carefully consider their sample frame to ensure accurate and representative results. Another factor that also contributes to sampling frame error is the size of the sample. If the sample size is too small, the results may not accurately reflect the characteristics of the whole population. Taking a larger sample can help reduce the chance of sampling frame error. By increasing the sample size, researchers can capture a more diverse range of individuals, leading to more accurate findings. Errors in population specification can occur when researchers are uncertain about who to survey for their research. For instance, if a study aims to investigate the amount of bread consumption in households, it becomes crucial to determine whether the entire family should be interviewed or only the children or solely the mother. While it may seem logical to focus on the mother, considering she typically purchases the bread and makes decisions, it is essential to recognize that children can also have an influence on the type of bread that is consumed. Therefore, accurately defining the target population is vital for obtaining reliable and comprehensive data. Furthermore, the timing of data collection can influence sampling frame error. If the data is collected at a specific time or during a particular event, the results may not be generalizable to the entire population over a longer period. To mitigate this error, researchers should consider collecting data over a longer duration or at multiple time points to capture variations and trends within the population. Additionally, the method of selecting the sample can also impact the occurrence of sampling frame error. If the sample is chosen using convenience sampling, where individuals who are easily accessible are included, it may not be representative of the entire population. This can introduce bias and affect the validity of the study's conclusions. To illustrate the impact of sampling frame error, consider a scenario where a study aims to understand the eating habits of teenagers in a particular city. If the researchers only collect data from students attending one school, their findings may not accurately represent the eating habits of all teenagers in the city. The sample would be limited to a specific group, potentially leading to biased conclusions. In order to obtain a more comprehensive understanding, it would be necessary to include students from various schools across the city. To illustrate the impact of sampling frame error, consider a scenario where a study aims to understand the eating habits of teenagers in a particular city. If the researchers only collect data from students attending one school, their findings may not accurately represent the eating habits of all teenagers in the city. The sample would be limited to a specific group, potentially leading to biased conclusions. In order to obtain a more comprehensive understanding, it would be necessary to include students from various schools across the city. To minimize sampling frame error, researchers should use random sampling techniques such as simple random sampling or stratified random sampling to ensure that every individual in the population has an equal chance of being included in the sample. The next category of error is chance error. When we are conducting any survey or experiment, it is important to consider the possibility of chance error. Chance error occurs when random variations in the results of a study occur due to factors such as differences in the individuals being surveyed or tested. This means that even if we gather information from a subset of a larger population, the results may not accurately represent the entire population. Chance error can lead to overestimations or underestimations in our conclusions. To minimize chance error, researchers can increase the sample size of their study. By including more participants, we can make more accurate predictions. However, it is important to note that obtaining data from a larger sample can be time consuming and expensive. Surveys are a common tool used to gather information, but they can be prone to errors for various reasons. One factor that can contribute to inaccuracies is the behavior of the individuals taking the survey. People may not remember things correctly, leading to incomplete or incorrect responses. Additionally, individuals may feel pressured to provide socially acceptable answers rather than expressing their true thoughts and opinions. This can happen due to social desirability bias, where individuals may alter their answers to conform to societal norms or expectations. Response bias can also arise from acquiescence bias, where participants tend to agree with statements regardless of their true beliefs. These biases can distort the findings and lead to invalid conclusions. Another source of error lies in the way survey questions are formulated. If the questions are confusing or open to interpretation, respondents may provide inaccurate or inconsistent answers. The wording of the questions play a crucial role in ensuring the accuracy of the data collected. Furthermore, mistakes can occur during the processing of survey data. Human error, such as typographical errors or a misinterpretation of responses, can introduce inaccuracies into the final results. Non response bias is another form of bias that can impact research outcomes. This bias arises when individuals selected for a study either fail to respond or decline to participate. As a result, the findings may be skewed, as those who choose not to respond might possess different opinions or traits compared to those who do. Non response bias can compromise the generalizability and validity of the study. Researchers can combat this bias by implementing strategies to increase response rates, such as offering incentives or following up with non respondents. Furthermore, they can analyze the characteristics of both respondents and non respondents to identify any potential biases and make appropriate adjustments to the findings. To minimize response bias, researchers can use Anonymous surveys assure participants of confidentiality and employ techniques like randomized response surveys to encourage honest responses. By employing these strategies, researchers can obtain more reliable and unbiased data. The persons administering the survey also has the potential to influence the responses. Their own opinions or biases can unintentionally impact how participants answer the questions, leading to inaccurate data. To ensure reliable and fair information, it is crucial for survey administrators to remain neutral and unbiased. Another factor that affects the accuracy of survey results is the inclusion of participants. If certain groups of people are left out or not adequately represented, the findings may not accurately reflect the views of the entire population. To avoid any errors and gain a comprehensive understanding of the topic, it is essential to have a diverse and representative group of people taking the survey. Furthermore, the timing of the survey can impact its accuracy also. People's opinions and attitudes can change over time, so conducting the survey at the right moment is crucial. For instance, if a survey about public opinion on a particular issue is conducted before any major events or developments related to that issue occur, the results may not accurately reflect the current sentiment. This is all for today. Thank you.